Audio Jungle.
16-year-old killed in Westmoreland was working because of financial woes, says grandmother. This Wednesday would have been 2 weeks since 16-year-old Tara Dennis, who was shot and killed allegedly by her ex-boyfriend, caught on the ice cream server job at a cafe in Negril, as her family said she encountered financial woes and had to halt her educational quest. Through some circumstances, she says she want to look some work because she'll go help me in her life, Carmen said of her granddaughter, who she described as jovial and hardworking. The teen, who lived at Grants Bush in Top Road, Little London, attended the Little London High School and promised her grandmother to take care of her in the future. However, her life was short-lived as she was gunned down on her veranda by her ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend is said to be a neighbor. The police have since sent out a notice for the ex-boyfriend Anthony McNeil to surrender. She lives here with me just across the road of that person of interest where he lives, Carmen told reporters. Pastor shot dead in Cassava Peace, St. Andrew. A man who has only been identified as Marlon, otherwise called Pastor, from Cassava Peace Road in St. Andrew, was shot dead in his community Saturday morning. Reports are that about 11:05 a.m., Marlon was sitting along the gully bank when men drove up in a white motor car and opened gunfire at him. The injured man was reportedly rushed to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Police say they have not yet established a motive for the attack but are following several leads. Phantom shot dead in Clarendon. A man was shot dead at a bar at Dick Drive in Lioneltown, Clarendon on Friday night. The dead man has been identified as 33-year-old Jason Watson, otherwise called Phantom, a former from Dick Drive. Reports reaching reporters indicated that around 7:30 p.m., Watson was standing outside the bar when a man walked up from a nearby lane. The man, the police said, opened gunfire, hitting Watson in the upper body. The man then fled. The now deceased ran into a nearby yard where he reportedly collapsed. Residents assisted Watson to the Lioneltown Hospital, where he was pronounced dead while undergoing treatment. No motive has been established for the attack, the police stated. 2 men accused of stealing goats chopped to death by an angry mob in Clarendon. 2 men accused of stealing goats were chopped to death by an angry mob in Rock River District in Clarendon. One of the deceased has been identified as 20-year-old Winston Cameron of James Hill in the parish. Police reports are that about 1:30 p.m., citizens intercepted a car with 3 men and 3 goats aboard. The men tried to escape but were cornered in another section of the community and chopped by the mob. The police were summoned and officers who responded found Cameron and the unidentified man near a river, suffering from chop wounds. The 3rd man was later handed over to the police. All 3 men were taken to hospital where Cameron and the unidentified man died. Cop lists gang ties of man killed on election day. The police have provided details on the gang ties of a man they fatally shot in Flanker St. James on election day. 24-year-old Peter Johnson was killed during an alleged shootout with the police on Kodak Drive. The incident, which occurred about 1:30 p.m., was just meters away from the Flanker Primary and Infant School, which at the time was being used as a polling station for the local government election. The police said a gun was found on Johnson. They also described him as a person linked to a number of crimes in Flanker and other sections of St. James. The police version of events was rejected by residents, with whom Johnson had hands raised when he was fatally shot. His mother also insisted that he was not a gunman. However, on Friday, Commissioner of Police ACP for Ear 1 Clifford Chambers provided details on what they know of Johnson's connection to gang activities. He is a known shooter for one of the gangs, the Alliance Gang, that is in Mount Salem. He has featured in 4 murders and 3 shootings, the ACP told reporters. He was associated with a top-tier gangster, and I guess he had been on the police radar for quite some time and has been the subject of several police joint military operations, he added. Chambers said the police are now looking at previous criminal activity to ascertain if any are linked to Johnson. Investigators are now using forensics to see if a hit can be established between other murders and shootings that took place in St. James, particularly in Flanker and Norwood, to see how they can clear up some of their crimes that they may have been involved in, he stated. When Johnson was fatally shot by the police on February 26, some residents staged a brief protest. They insisted that he was killed in cold blood and the gun cease has been planted on him. The incident disrupted voting for about an hour and a half. 3 hospitalized after Temple Hall crashes. Emergency responders were summoned to 2 crash sites along the Temple Hall Main Road in St. Andrew on Friday, as at least 3 persons were left nursing serious injuries. The busy thoroughfare which connects St. Andrew and St. Mary has recorded at least 4 accidents in the past 3 weeks. In the latest incidents, the Stony Hill Fire Station and the police worked on shortly after midnight on Thursday to rescue the occupants trapped in a mantled Toyota Probox. That vehicle had crashed head-on with another Toyota Probox. The latter driver had security guards from King's Alarm. Following the incident, and before a change in shift and emergency personnel, the police were again called to a scene of an accident following along the roadway after a vehicle driven by a female motorist reportedly crashed into a truck and overturned. Reporters understand that the woman was rushed to the corporate area base hospital for treatment. On Sunday, March 4, at about 11 a.m., another female motorist reportedly lost control of a vehicle which landed in a riverbed along the Temple Hall Main Road. She was rescued by a team from the Stony Hill Fire Station and other motorists passing by. I don't know how she ended up over there. The accident was puzzling. She was traveling by herself. A lot of motorists underestimate this road. People have to take time and drive day and night, a resident told reporters. It was also disclosed that just days before the crash, another female motorist escaped with life after she was pushed from the disabled vehicle that had crashed into an embankment along the very same roadway. Russian charged with deaths of 4 in crash allowed to travel. The Russian who is before the court for the December 2022 deaths of 4 people in a motor vehicle collision on the Palisades Main Road in Kingston had his bail condition varied by the Supreme Court on Thursday, allowing him to leave the island for a month to seek medical attention. Attorney for the Russian, Peter, King's Counsel, making the application before Supreme Court Judge on Justice Leighton Pusey on Thursday afternoon, said his client, who is facing 4 counts of causing death by dangerous driving, has a particular ailment and needs urgent medical attention. He said the Russian, who has adhered to all the bail conditions imposed on him by the court, will leave the island Friday, March 1 and will return on April 1 this year. Justice Pusey, in granting permission, ordered that the Russian's national passport be returned to him by Friday and further ordered that the document be returned to officials on April 2 after he returns. The matter, which has been brought before the parish court initially, was cited to the circuit court by virtue of a voluntary bill of indictment brought on by the Director of Public Prosecutions. The Russian has been out on bail to the tune of $500,000. Those killed in the incident were Rosemary Roberts Banton, 57, Zachary Heslop, 18, taxi driver Delroy Grant, 53, and Camille Stevenson Grant. It was reported that about 5:45 a.m. on December 11, 2022, taxi operator Delroy Grant, 53, was driving his Toyota to Succeed motor car towards the airport with Roberts Banton, Heslop, and Camille Stevenson Grant aboard when, upon reaching the vicinity of the runabout, it collided with a Toyota Prado Land Cruiser driven by the Russian. The police and the fire department were alerted. The individual was transported to hospital where Roberts Banton, Heslop, Grant, and Stevenson Grant, they were pronounced dead, while the 2 occupants of the Land Cruiser were treated and released. Mother ran killer son out of her house after watching news. Murder convict Wade Blackwood testified on Thursday that his mother ran him out of her house after watching the news and seeing him firing a gun into a taxi in which businesswoman Simone Campbell Collymore was a passenger. Simone and taxi driver Winston Walters were killed outside the entrance gate of her apartment complex on Stanley Terrace in Red Hill, St. Andrew. The January 2, 2018 incident was captured by a CCTV camera. As they waited for a security guard to let them inside, Collymore and Walters were pounced upon by Blackwood and another man who hopped from a motorcycle, guns in hand. I knew I was wanted after watching the footage of the incident. My mother saw me on the news. She approached me cursing and I told her the truth. She said she never grew me to fire any gun and she ran me out of the house, Blackwood told the 7-member jury during the home circuit court murder trial of Simone's husband, Omar Collymore, and co-accused Shaquille Edwards, Michael Adams, and Dwayne Pink. It is alleged that Collymore ordered a hit on his wife for $2 million. According to Blackwood, he did not know Omar before the murders, but said he met with him while in a holding cell at Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. He said he also recognized him from the news. Blackwood claimed that in the bullpen at the court was each of his co-accused, including Collymore. He said that Collymore was pointed out to him by Michael Adams and that he went over and sat beside him to inquire why he wanted his wife dead. However, Blackwood said that Collymore didn't answer but gave him a look. He claimed that on another day, he told Collymore that he was going to plead guilty for the murders, and Collymore insisted on trying to convince him of what he was going to do during his plea. He wanted me to make him go free. Collymore said I should tell the judge that his wife was trying to kill him, but things went the other way. He did not tell me not to plea, but he wanted me to tell them how to plea, Blackwood stated. After pleading guilty to the double murder, Blackwood was hit with 2 life sentences in 2021 and was ordered to spend 35 years in prison before becoming eligible for parole. He also received a sentence for illegal possession of firearm. However, Blackwood got his sentence shaved down to 20 years in prison before being eligible for parole after agreeing to testify against his conspirators and accomplices. Blackwood claimed that while inside his cell, which he shared with Collymore for at least 5 months, he was told that he would still get paid for the killings, but that he needed to say the right things during his plea deal in court. Blackwood told the court that he had already accepted that he was not going to get any money from carrying out the murders because his participation was merely to pay off his brother's debt for an illegal gun which got into the hands of the police. He said the gun belonged to a now deceased Brook Valley gang member who he referred to as Jim. When he told me that he would still pay me, Collymore did not know I had a debt to pay for the gun my brother got held with, Blackwood said. On Wednesday, Blackwood said that Jim forced him into carrying out the murder. I fired those shots into the vehicles because I didn't have any choice. I have a brother who was in the unruly gang. The gang operates from Brook Valley in Duhaney Park. My brother got caught with a gun and went to the prison because of it. Sometime before the murder, Jim came to me and said, my brother got caught with this gun, and for me to pay for it, I have to murder someone to clear my brother's debt. When Jim said that Michael Abrams was right there beside me, Jim said he was going to give me $2 million, but I wouldn't get any because of my brother's debt. Jim said, if me don't do it, he might go kill me, my mother and my family member. I didn't even get the chance to say anything. Adams told Jim that the lady have to dead, else them can't get the money. The conversation took place in Brook Valley, behind K Building in the middle of the scheme, Blackwood stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.